What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Trucker Steaks back here with another video. This video, I'm going to go over trip planning. It's going to be a short 692 mile trip. It's very short. I didn't want to make a long one. This video is going to be in the same time zone. I'm going to make a part 2 to this video where you're going to travel through different time zones, so I can teach you how to trip plan and actually go through time zones as well. So just I got the trip already planned out. It's already in my memo on my tablet right now. This is not a trip that I'm on. I just picked these random locations because I didn't want to give out the addresses to the shipper that I am actually picking up from. So with that in mind, let's get this video started. So we're gonna go from LA and we're gonna go all the way up to Salt Lake City. First thing first is once you get your load information and you know where you're picking up and where you're going to deliver, just put in your addresses on whatever navigation system that you're going to use. Map out the route you're going to take. So basically, we start in LA. We're going to take I-10 pretty much eastbound all the way to the 210. The 210 is going to turn to the 15. From the 15, I-15, it goes from California. It's going to run we're going to run it up through Vegas, and then we're gonna pretty much run it up to Salt Lake City. So it's gonna be one major highway. I chose this highway because it's a simple route. I've taken this route hundreds of times, so it's one of my favorite routes for the scenic view. So let's get started. We know what the route is: 210. I-10 all the way to 210. The 210 turns to 15. And we're going to take the 15 all the way up. I'm just saying that for the purpose of this video, but you can use this same method that I'm using with mapping your trip out. Map your trip out, and we're going to pull up one of my favorite apps, Trucker Path. We're going to pull up Trucker Path, y'all. Let me get this screen back, because I had something else on here. So, as you can see, it got the whole map on here. As you can see, it has the whole map on here. But we're going to zoom back in on California, baby. Let's zoom back in on California. So, we'll pretty much know where we're starting. What I usually do is, okay, I choose how long I'm going to drive. So let's say I want to drive about 5 hours or whatever. So we're going to write down I already wrote it down. I got some fake appointment times that I made up. So, trip planning. Our pickup time is, let's say our pickup time is Monday at 1400. Our delivery time is Wednesday at 1930. So that's what would be in your load information or whatever service that you're using to get your load or get your freight or load information. You will look at the pickup time and you will look up your delivery time. So we're gonna start in LA at 1400. For the sake of, I'm not gonna keep going into the direction and stuff like that on the map. So let's say we start at 1400 and our pickup time is Monday and it deliver on Wednesday. Always make sure that you write down exactly the date is. Make sure that you have the day that you start and stop when you're on your trip. So let's say we start Monday in LA at 1400. Now, if we started at 1400, let's say we drove for 8.5 hours. That means we would made it in Scipio. That's another city in Utah. Let me pull that up. So we will look up somewhere to park. I'm just giving you guys an example for once. So let's say we started in LA. We started in LA. Now I'm gonna go all the way up on the 15 since I know that's the route that I'm gonna take from LA all the way up to Salt Lake City. So let's just pick somewhere random where we're gonna stop. Let's pick some random where we're gonna stop. Let's say we stop in Beaver, Utah. Now, let's see how far is that from our pickup. So, once I clicked on it, it pulls up. Let's go to direction. And it's going to ask me what app I want to use. So, I'm going to use Google Maps. This is what I use. Google Maps with TruckerPath. Well, let me get this back set up again. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. So, bam. If we stop in Beaver, Utah, starting in LA, we run up. Now, let's say if you're a heavy runner, you like to run your clock, down before you take your 30-minute break. You got 8 hours to drive before you have to take your 30-minute break. So we stop at 7 hours and 20 minutes. Let's say we take our break at 7 hours and 20 minutes. Now let's go back to the memo. Writing down and keeping track of your time is very important. So we start at 1400, which is 2 o'clock. We drive for, let's say that's 7.5 hours really. We're going to keep it at 30 marks. That way it make it simple. So, if we start at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which is 1400, that means we drive for 7 hours, 7.5 hours, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we will be stopping at 9:30. Now I have it written out already, but let's say we stop in Beaver, Utah. Let's stop in Beaver, Utah at 21:30. Now let's keep it simple. Let's say you drove 7.5 hours. Now, let's say if you want to be done for the day, you did your close to 8 hours. You want to save you some time, and you're only doing 600 miles. So let's say you stop at, it would be what, 21:30. You stop at 21:30. Now, if you stop at 21:30, If you stop at 21:30, that means you can start back at 07:30. That is 10 hours. 21:30 is 9:30. 10 hours from that will be 07:30. But let's include our pre-trip, so we won't be starting exactly at 07:30. We'll be starting exactly at 0800 because you have to do your 30-minute pre-trip. Now, from Beaver, Utah, that will put us, because remember the trip was only 10 hours, 10 and a half hours away. We drove for 7.5 hours. So now we go back to Google Maps. Actually, I will go back from the trucker path so I can see how far am I from my final location. So we go back to trucker path, and remember, we started in Beaver, Utah. I got it saved up on trucker path. That's how I do it. Whenever I stop somewhere, I'll go on trucker path. I pull it right back up on trucker path. I hit the where the little white box popped up. Now you tap directions. Now, wherever you start from, you want to see how far is that location from your final destination. So, wherever you stopped the night before, you want to see how far are you from wherever you stopped the night before. So let's say we stopped in Beaver City, Utah. That will put us at 2 hours and 50 minutes from Salt Lake City. I just rounded to the nearest. Let's say it's 3 hours away. Let's say it take us 3 hours or whatever to get there. Now let's go back to the trip planning. We used the trucker path and all that already. Let's go back to the trip planning. So that means since we started in Beaver, Utah, we stopped Monday in Beaver, Utah at 21:30. That means we can start Tuesday in Beaver City, where we stopped the night before at 0800, and we only have to drive 3 hours. So we should arrive in Salt Lake City at 1100 Tuesday. That means we should be in Salt Lake City at 1100 on Tuesday. Now, I just pretty much planned out a trip for you guys. I just hope it wasn't confusing or anything. But when you're planning your trip, you want to write down your exact time that you're going to start and stop each day. So, if you stick to your schedule, you will arrive in any location at the time that you actually desire. You will arrive at the exact time that so if you stick to your plan when you're planning your trip, you should arrive according to the time that you're planning your trip for. Now, you got to take it as everything might not always go as planned, because things can happen down on the road, so there's things that you can't prevent from happening. So let's say if you plan your trip and everything's go perfect, then you should always be on time. You should actually be early most of the time. I like to be at least 8 hours early for most of my deliveries. So remember, you're gonna write down your pickup time and your delivery time. You're gonna write the day that you start, and you're gonna write the day that you stop for each day of the trip that you're on. And you're gonna make sure that you count in your 30-minute breaks, and you also count in your 30-minute pre-trips, and that would tell you what time you should be stopping. So usually, let's say if I say I'm gonna drive for 8.5 hours, I look at it as, okay, I have a 30-minute pre-trip, and then I gotta take at least one 30-minute break. That's in an hour right there that's lost. So let's say I plan to drive for 8 hours. Now that I know that I plan to drive for 8 hours, I need to count that extra hour that I have to do a pre-trip and my 30-minute break, which is added together to make the whole hour. So I would look at it as, okay, if I start at 1 o'clock, 8 hours of driving, and then 1 hour of on duty not driving, which give you 9 hours. So I would say, okay, I should be stopped and shut down by 10 o'clock at night, if that's a good example. So I hope this video can help you guys out. I will be doing another video on trip planning, going through different time zones. That's another video that I'm going to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. I'm out.